In this video, we're going to complete example 1. We're going to describe the strength, the form, and the direction for each scatter plot below. So when we look at question A, if we were to draw a line of best fit, like so, you'll see that all the points here are quite close to the line. And I reckon this is quite a strong relationship, this one here. So I'm going to write down that the strength is strong. Alright, now let's look at the form. Form is telling us whether it's linear or non-linear. It's a linear straight line, so we will write the form as linear. And finally, the third part, what is the direction? We can see as we move to the right that this linear line is going down. So we're going to say that it's a negative direction. Now moving on to question B. This one is not linear, and we'll write that already. So write part 2, the form is non-linear. And I'm going to hand draw my line of best fit. Looks something like this. We can still see that all the points are quite close to the curve that I've drawn. So I would say that this has a strong relationship. And finally, the direction, it's going up as we move to the right. So we're going to say that it has a positive direction. When we look at question C, you can see that there is no way that you can draw a line of best fit. We have no idea where it would go. And the reason for this is because there is no relationship this time. So what do we do when we want to describe the form in part 2 and the direction in part 3? Because you can't find the form or the direction without first looking at the curve or the line. Because of that, because there's no relationship, we can say NA for not applicable. We can't find these. Alright, moving on to question D now. I can see that my line of best fit would go about here. So there is a relationship, but it's not very strong. I would say that this has a weak relationship. And for part 2, the form, it's linear, it's a straight line. And for part 3, the direction, we can see that as we move to the right, it's going up, meaning it's positive. Alright, question E now. When I draw my line of best fit, I can see that the points are a little spread out. I wouldn't say it's a weak relationship, and it's definitely not a strong relationship, so we'll go with moderate. And we can see that this is linear once again, it's a straight line. And for the direction, we can see that as we move to the right, it's going down, meaning it's negative. Alright, finally on to question F. I'm going to hand draw this one. It looks somewhat like a parabola. When I look at the strength of the relationship here, the points are quite close to my parabolic curve. Some are a little far from it, and to be perfectly honest, I'm torn between saying it's strong or moderate. And sometimes you get in these situations where you're really not sure. If you're ever in a situation like that, then it probably doesn't matter which one you say, whether you say strong or moderate. I'm actually going to go with strong because I don't think they're too spread out. Part 2, which is about the form, we know that this is not linear or non-linear, we'll write down. When we move on to part 3, which is talking about the direction, you'll notice that at one point it's going down, and at another point it's going up. So we've got a negative direction as well as a positive direction. When this happens, we're just going to have to write not applicable, because you can only write one of these, positive or negative. And quite often when you get curve shapes, you can't say whether it's positive or negative. Anyway, that concludes our video on example 1. Remember to read the description below for links to workbooklets that relate to this video.